My name is Anika Bowie, and I am a St. Paul City Council member of Ward 1. I've seen a lot of familiar faces here on this committee, as I have came several times over, I would say, the past decade, champion voting rights and stronger democracy. Before I was an elected official, I was a community organizer, and I often built my reputation and career with electing progressives and just electing just really good-hearted grassroots leaders across the state. And one of the tools that made it very useful with having conversations on the doors was the ability for us to have ranked choice voting in the city of St. Paul. I'm here to support ranked choice voting and allow other cities to have that option to utilize this great democracy tool, not only from a perspective as elected, but also from a perspective as a community organizer, and knowing there is a ecosystem to build more advocates to have more healthy conversations. Here's some of the points I want to list in terms of why I think ranked choice voting is important. It ensures that our elected officials better reflect the diversity of backgrounds and political preferences of our constituents. RCV empowers voters to rank their candidates' preferences, leading to the formation of broader coalitions, which is particularly beneficial for underrepresented communities. RCV opens the process to more candidates. Like myself, for example, when I ran for office, it actually opened up the door for 7 other candidates to run and speak to their platform. And Ward 1 is actually one of the most racially and economically diverse communities. And we actually applaud and encourage more leaders to step up to the plate and make sure more issues are brought to the conversation. And ranked choice voting allowed for those conversations to happen and those coalitions to be built. Studies also show that ranked choice voting can accelerate the representation of women and people of color in office in the historic city council election in St. Paul of 2023 that I'm honored to be part of. First time ever all-woman city council. 6 of the 7 of the council members are women of color is a prime example of what the outcomes of ranked choice voting can produce. And I also want to speak to the positive impacts on how my campaign was ran for city council. It encouraged me to talk to more voters. All of you are all elected officials and understand, the responsibility having to raise the most money and the pressure of having to target who your demographic is, right? But when you have ranked choice voting, it actually allows you, the competition is more so around how many people you're gonna have genuine conversations with, right? And creating those more authentic relationships in your communities versus whoever can create the most smear campaign. So it allows you to also reach out beyond your core supporters and beyond your comfort zone. I was honored to not only be asked, but I was honored to not only ask people to be my first choice vote, but for them to show up to the ballot to vote, right? And gives them more liberty and more autonomy as a voter on where they want to put their choice. And I had a rich and engaging conversations with voters and shaped how, even if I wasn't their first time, or the first choice, it still created that opportunity to talk about the issues that are nonpartisan in St. Paul. And in closing, I just want to say all the candidates are representatives of their campaigns. We're allowed to watch ballots being counted in my race. So like I said, there's a total of 8 people on election day. We were able to see all the ballots being brought in, and I ended up having 20% more, and had to do a recount. And that also allowed for our Ramsey County Elections Office to really engage with the community on the process of how the outcomes would be, and also, encourage for our staff to not only count our ballots, but also see how people engage in a range of different candidates. So after, I would say, 5 rounds, I was fortunate to be elected, but also it just showed like all of the hands and all of the coalitions that goes into making sure that we are uplifting not only ranked choice voting, but giving people the invitation to participate in their democracy and not feel like that they have to only show up if they know that one person that they have to choose. So, thank you.